Hello, friends. Happy Thursday to you all. Welcome to Philosophonics episode 23. 23, folks. We have been through 23 episodes, and I'm excited to be here tonight talking about dreams with you all. Last week, we talked about some glitches in the Matrix, and I thought it was worth having an episode of its own on dreams. So, to get started, I'm going to read you guys a quote. By Shuangzi. Once upon a time, I dreamt I was a butterfly, fluttering hither and thither, to all intents and purposes of a butterfly. I was conscious only of my happiness as a butterfly, unaware that I was myself. Soon I awakened, and there I was, veritably myself again. Now, I do not know whether I was then a man dreaming I was a butterfly, or whether I am now a butterfly dreaming I am a man. I love that quote. All right, so that kind of sets a tone. I'm going to play a couple originals for you guys, normal format tonight. So I'm going to play you guys Lots, Test, and a song that I still don't have a name for, so I just call it the piano song. So hope you all enjoy tonight. It's going to be a very philosophical one, and we're just continuing on that train of sort of glitches in reality, the fabric of reality. So here goes some originals for you all. Love y'all so much. I am scared. I'm going through a lot right now, trying to change into the one I'm fighting for, the one I know that if I stand up straight and sing a little louder, life's got much in store for me. Beyond this body, this space, this time, it floats away to freedom. seed. Sing your song just to feel free with what they offer you. Could not grow those shallow wells, could not be whole. Don't you worry about what you see. The sun will rise and the tide meet the sea. Jump off the cliff and you might find your feet. Come all the lies, 'cause we bleed the beat. You fill up your mind 'cause there just isn't time. And about a culture you lose your mind. It's an answer to what you seek. Wipe off your hands and melodies clean. Wipe off your hands, start to be free. Don't you worry about what you see. The sun will rise and the tide meet the sea. Jump off the cliff and you might find your feet. Come all the lies, 'cause we bleed the beat. Sing me a story, write me a song, 'cause the road is too hard to go it alone. Come on, old friend, just meet me at home, 'cause I know we're both broken down and drenched to the bone. Sing me a story, what's in your heart? 'Cause I ran so far, left you in the dark. Life is a story, music, my words, and it's good to remember just what it's worth. All right. There goes some originals for you guys. Hello and welcome, Julie. Sending love back to you tonight. Hope you're having a good week and you are watching. So grateful for you all, as I am every week, to be on this journey together with me. And This is one episode that I really wish we were all just kind of in a room talking with each other because it's heavily based on personal experience. So let me grab my notes and we'll get started with a chatty chat on dreams. Boom. All right. So, yeah, I love that quote. Now, I don't know whether I was a man dreaming I was a butterfly or whether I'm a butterfly dreaming I'm a man. We'll get to that in a minute. So, I wanted to start with kind of of course, I like to start with sort of the scientific side of things. And dreams, let me just say, whenever I started my research this week about what is a dream and what is happening when we go into a dream, to be very, very honest, there are several different ideas about them on several different levels. But the bottom line, you all, is that no one fully knows. Even the smartest dream studiers, scientists, they can see what's happening with the body and a little bit with the mind, but they cannot really explain fully or with any kind of definitive answer what a dream is or what's happening, how we're creating the dreams fully. So I just want to get that out of the way first. That is that no one really understands dreams fully. No one does. And so a lot of the stuff is just basically people's ideas about, well, more than likely it's this. So some of the things that we do know that happen on the physical level, on the psychological level during dreams, we know that during sleep, our bodies and our brains detox, essentially. So they are doing some kind of transferring and essentially draining out a lot of things, including thoughts, to sort of reset us for the next day. So the body's doing that for sure. Some people say that we are organizing our thoughts. So we're kind of, once again, resetting our brain for the next day. All the jargon that was in there from the day is kind of like a brain dump downloading in the dream. Yeah, so those things we know are kind of happening, but like I said, no one really knows what the purpose of them are. There are some theories about we're using dreams to rehearse evolutionarily. Is that a word? I don't know, but I'm using it. That since we've been dreaming since the way back when, right? Basically when we existed, that the dream state is a way of us rehearsing dangers. So preparing ourselves for emotional and physical threats. Some people say that. And I do want to show you guys a picture of the brain here. The beautiful brain. A funny kind of side story is when I remember when I was about 4 or 5, I wanted to be a brain surgeon. That was my dream. I wanted to be the person that operates and fixes people's brains. And then one day I saw what a real brain looked like. But previously, I guess in my child mind, I thought it was like, the thing that looks like a cartoon piece of bubble gum, just this pink, cute little cartoon thing. And then I saw what a real brain looked like. And then I was like, I'm out. We're not doing this. So that's kind of a funny story. Okay, here is a lovely picture of the brain. And one thing that we know is really helping us out and responsible for brain activity during sleep is I'm probably going to say it wrong, thalamus. Probably saying it wrong. Should have probably looked up how to say that, but it's okay. So as you can see, that is the middle part right there, like that middle bean looking area. And that area of our brain serves to relay impulses. So I believe it's all of the senses except smell, and especially sensory impulses to and from the cerebral cortex, right? Other people say that the brain stem is involved, the sensory the sensory cortex, and the hippocampus are involved. As well as something that Julie, you and I have talked about, the pineal gland, little pine cone. So thank you, science, for giving us occasionally a cute little name. So the pineal gland releases melatonin, which helps us sleep and also helps regulate our circadian cycles. And I would like to go a lot more into the pineal gland, but I have decided that we are going to continue next week with Glitch in the Matrix Part 2, and we will dive into the pineal gland much, much deeper, and some other altered states of consciousness. But just know that it's releasing the melatonin for this week. And one thing I want to note, you may have heard this before, but they do say that if your pineal gland is calcified, then you more than likely will have less dreams. And guess what is responsible for calcifying the pineal gland? It is fluoride, my friends, which is in the stuff that we brush our teeth with a lot of the times. So while fluoride is incredibly great for our teeth, not so great for the pineal gland and the cool things that kind of prompts. All right, so there is a cutie patootie little picture of the brain, and the bottom line is that most of the brain is active in the dream state. And I was going to say this later, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it now. So we are learning that, okay, the best way I heard it described in this article is that instead of us being put into like a video game, right? Like during our waking life, like us going into a world that already exists, basically our mind is constantly constructing reality around us, right? Based off of our senses and the processing in our brain. They have found out that there is literally no difference between that process in our waking state and us doing it in our dream state. So we are using the exact same process to create reality as we are to create dreams, which, with that said, who can argue which one is real? Are you a butterfly or a man? Okay. So that's just a little bit about, of course, there's REM sleep, rapid eye movement. There are different cycles of your sleep. You're more likely to have dreams in the REM state. They say that people have like up to 1,000 dreams in a night. And then, of course, we don't remember them all, but we do remember some. So we are able to also have memory, the same part of our brain, remembering dreams just like we do the waking life. So these lines are really, really blurred in our brain as far as this reality in our waking state and in our dream state, which is pretty crazy. So the next part of this chat tonight is where, like I said, I wish we were all just sitting in a room talking about our experiences. So feel free to put them in the chat. But I'm just going to talk about some kind of crazy situations with dreams. And the first one I want to talk about is lucid dreaming. The statistics are very varied about how many people have lucid dreams. I saw it was like 24% to 87% or something like that, which is like nobody or everybody essentially. So that's really a number that I guess we can just throw out of the equation, because to me that's so varied. Anyways, what is a lucid dream? If you don't know, a lucid dream is where you're dreaming and you know that you're dreaming. And so when you're in a lucid dream, you can basically create freely because you realize you're dreaming. So you're like, it becomes like the holodeck, right? From Star Trek. You're like, let me throw up this building and bring this person in and control my whole dream. So one thing that is really cool that I found out is that evidently, and this was a science guy that found this discovery, lucid dreamers can actually connect with each other in dreams, which is like mind blowing. What's happening there? I don't know, but they can. Through testing, they found this out. Lucid dreamers can jump into each other's dreams. What the what? Okay, so that's one crazy thing. And some things that you can do, basically, there's lots of techniques to prompt having more lucid dreams. And one of them, they say, is if you are in a dream, just look at your hands, right? And this is crazy because I guess since I've been researching all of this dream stuff, which I've had one lucid dream in my life. I was like much younger. But last night I had my second ever lucid dream in my life. And I was in an elevator with these three men. I don't know them. They just had like dark hair. There's three of them in the elevator with me. And I was like, I am lucid dreaming. See, look at my hand. And I was like, I can tell that I'm dreaming. And that's really weird that I am able to connect the technique literally in my dream. I'm like, see my hand, you guys, I'm dreaming. So that was crazy that I had that dream last night. And another technique that they say helps increase your lucid dreaming is journaling. So right when you wake up, writing down what you remember about your dream. And basically, there's also like little things about snapping rubber bands on your wrist. The hands seem to be a pretty good thing. But yeah, I was going to talk to you guys about this dream I had last night. So then I like flash forwarded to my mom's house, and she had decorated for Christmas. It was like so beautiful and over the top. There's garland and like all these chocolates everywhere. It was like extra, right? I was there with my son and we were like, oh, this is so beautiful. Like, good job decorating. And then I went to my mom's closet and I was like trying on her shoes, which is strange also because I used to do that a lot when I was a kid. And I see these pair of boots over in the corner and I'm like, ooh, those boots are cool. And then I think to myself, oh, the mom's boots aren't damaged, so maybe I can wear them. Because in my waking life, I know that I have my dad's old pair of boots and that they need the heels re-put on. So in my dream, I was able to like remember this part of my waking life and apply those situations to my dream. And then I was like, oh, I wonder if these are Mom's or Glenn's, my stepdad, because I remember they told me they have remotely the same shoe size, which is another thing that they told me last week in my waking life. So it's like very strange having these things that I know about in my waking life. I don't know if you guys experience that, then applying to your dream state. Anyways, so lucid dreams, crazy thing. Yeah. All right. So another thing that happens, and it's happened to me. So like this is going to be a lot of me talking about dreams I've had just because I don't have all of us in a room. But maybe you've experienced these. So I'm just kind of chatting it up tonight. Yeah, it was really cool, Julie. And especially the Christmas decoration part because I'm a big Christmas fan and it was beautiful. So another thing is cumulative dreams, right? So basically it's like a novel. Like you go to sleep, you do chapter 1, you wake up, you go about your day, go back to sleep, live chapter 2, wake up, go to chapter. It's like cumulative, right? And it's gonna be real weird, but I'm gonna talk about it to the YouTubes. When I was, I think, 12 or 13 years old, I had the most memorable cumulative dream situation. There were several of them. It lasted for like over a week. And this cumulative dream was about the end of the world. And I was in a Volkswagen Beetle, and sitting next to me was a cat, but a cat that was like half robotic. And I knew that it had been kept alive through like a robotic situation, but it was my cat. And I was driving downtown in Lubbock, which is where I live now and grew up. And the downtown area was like completely revitalized, and there was like video billboards, and there was like all these different businesses, right? Well, at the time when I had the dream, first of all, I didn't know my first vehicle would be a Volkswagen Beetle. That neighborhood that I was driving by was like kind of run down. We called it the tech ghetto because it was like where the tech students live, but the cheaper housing. Come to find out, years later, McDougal bought that, tore down all those, and built almost identical to the things that were in my dream, including a moving billboard. So that was really weird, part of the dream. But basically, the dreams just went on, and the end of the world was happening. And I told my parents to go to this place in Colorado, Vicedo Lake, and that's where they would be safe. And then part of the dream was that my destiny, my part was to encode human DNA into music and then inscribe it on a temple in an island off the coast of Florida, so that if all of humanity got wiped out, that people could find how to rebuild humans. This was a cumulative dream that I had. And honestly, it was crazy, and I'll remember it forever. I literally don't have any reason to make that up. It's so random. But yeah, so that was some cumulative dreams I've had. Another thing that I've had, maybe you've had, is repeating locations. So I definitely have a couple repeating locations that aren't real, that don't exist in my waking life. And one of them is a hotel that is connected to a mall. And I could literally, I'm a Sims player, y'all, just letting my inner nerd out, letting y'all know I play The Sims, have since Sims 1. But I have done it in The Sims where I literally could tell you where all the stores are in this mall, where the items are in the stores, like down to like this is on this shelf, etc. That one is connected to a hotel. And that is a reoccurring location that is like a setting for some of my dreams sometimes. Totally nuts. Because it doesn't exist in reality. And why the amount of detail, I don't know. Another recurring location that I have is essentially New York City, but specifically another hotel that is connected to a music venue. And this one happens a lot when I have dreams about touring or when I have dreams about Blue October. In this particular hotel, same thing. I've done it in The Sims just to be like, am I crazy? No, I know this whole layout, right? Down to like the flooring. And anyways, I could show you the lobby. There's like a restaurant up here with a piano. Downstairs is like some suites. Then as it gets higher, there's like regular rooms. Then at the very top is like the penthouses that have a hot tub outside on the balcony. Yeah. So yeah, there's one other I was just thinking of is where I used to live in San Marcos, San Antonio Street. I have a reoccurring house that I live in there that's not real. Um, so maybe you've had some reoccurring locations like that, which is fascinating to me because that's quite a construct. And I don't know if that's like a neural pathway that, I built that synapse together or something. And so now whenever I need a location like that, I can just recall it in my dream state. But that's crazy. Another thing, uh, yeah, these are all types of dreams I've had. So I don't know if you guys have experienced it. Julie, I know we've talked some about, you've had some of these situations in your dreams, but feel free to put in the comments when I repost if you've had these kind of experiences, because I love to hear other people's experiences of these. Another thing is the deceased, right, in a dream. So when I was in high school, I had several of these actually, and I had one of my best friends committed suicide. Unfortunately, it was really, really sad. And he came to me shortly after his passing in the dream, and he was totally fine. And he said, "Ashleigh, I'm okay. I'm not suffering anymore. I'm well." And like in the dream, I knew he was deceased. I knew I was dreaming. And he told me he was okay. Same thing happened with my mom's mom when she passed. I had her come to my dream and say that she wasn't in pain anymore. And yeah, so the deceased, people have experiences with um, talking with the deceased. One thing I did see in my sort of micro research is that a lot of times the deceased don't talk in other people's dreams when they visit. They just kind of like stand there. My deceased people talk, but maybe yours don't. I don't know. Okay, we talked also a little bit last week about prophetic dreams. Well, we didn't talk about that. We talked, about deja vu, which is like, where you think, oh, I've done this before. Many people throughout life have had prophetic dreams where they dream it and then it literally happens later. And I used to have these more so when I was younger. I remember one specifically was when I was auditioning for the Texas All-State Choir. I had the dream about being in the high school cafeteria and them not calling my name, and then calling my name last and being like, oh, I made it. And that actually happened. And like the dream was like months before that actually happened. So I've had a couple of those, but that's really the one that I remember. Throughout history, a lot of people have had prophetic dreams where they're like, totally dreamt this and then it happened. Some people have reoccurring dreams, so they'll have the same dream over and over. My husband was talking about he has a dream with like a basketball dream or something, and he's like trying to run and he can't run, which I've also had that. I don't know if you guys have had that experience before where you're trying to run in your dream and you can't run. You're like not moving. But people have the same dream reoccurring, which is like, what? And then lastly, I want to talk about dying in your dream. So I have had one of those, and basically I was in a car and driving in front of me was an old like F-150 pickup truck. I want to say it was white. And there was a dude in the car, and then there was this older looking long-haired woman. And the dude turned around and shot me. I actually woke myself up at that point because I was like, I guess something about my subconscious or whatever was like, I don't know if it's cool to die in a dream, man. Like, what happens if we die in a dream? So my experience was I got so scared that I woke myself up and did not experience a death in the dream. But then I later talked to a woman And I asked her about, have you ever died in your dream? And she said, yeah, I do it all the time. And I was like, cool, what happens when you die? And she said, I start astrally projecting. So she starts going into different planets and existences, and uh, basically travels around the universes. So maybe you've had a dream where you die in your dream. I got too scared. So props to you. If you have, I would love to know what that was like for you. Actually, the native cultures, Native Americans, believe in, like, I want to say it's a silver string that is attached to you, that when you do astrally project, it's important to remember that attachment to your body, or else essentially your spirit can get lost out in the ether. So I think I kind of knew that when I was being shot in my dream, and was like, nah, I'm not that advanced, y'all. So yeah, those are some of the kind of very strange things. And really, if you think about those scientific explanations of the brain dumping and making sense of our thoughts, I can buy it that it accounts for some of our dreams for sure, right? Like, I can get that it is the collage of our thoughts, trying to organize itself and clear up for the next day. But some of this stuff I don't necessarily think can be explained just through those explanations. And many other people do not either. And so now let's talk about how people think that dreams are a portal to other dimensions. And last week we talked about the holographic universe. So people believe that when you dream, you're actually interacting with different timelines or dimensions. And you're actually, your spirit or whatever, your energy body is literally going through these portals. And like I said earlier, our brain is essentially creating our waking reality the same way that we are creating our dream reality. So who's to say, who's to say that we are not going into different dimensions, or just creating different dimensions, right? Like, what if every time that, just like we're creating, okay, this is my keyboard and this is the microphone, what if we're also creating a reality while we dream, that exists in some plane, some dimension somewhere? And like, what are the implications of that? If so, especially with the lucid dreaming, like, what kind of responsibility does that put on us? Oh yeah, I guess I should mention, like, this is the farthest out weirdest stuff that I've had in dreams, but I have had a handful of dreams in my life where I have literally exorcised some demons out of a location. And the first time it happened, I was staying at a friend's cabin that they had just bought in Colorado. And I like woke up in the dream, right? Like, so I was still in the same cabin, but there was like a demon that was possessing the cabin. And I started like emanating love and light and like this power. And I was like wizard style swirling my energy, and I started speaking Bible verses, and then I started speaking in Latin. And I've had a couple of those dreams. Like, I work hard in my dreams, y'all. This is crazy stuff. I've had one in the church I grew up in the lobby of it, there was like demons, and I had to exorcise them out. So and the same process is used each time, with like churning up that energy, like an internal energy of strength, and then letting out just this like warrior love, and spouting out all these Bible verses, and then speaking in Latin. So that's really strange. Maybe y'all have had demon battling dreams. It really brings new meaning to fighting your inner demons. Like sometimes I just wake up and I'm like, man, I am very tired still because I've been doing this crazy stuff in my dreams. Yes, like in the Matrix, Julie, definitely. Man, so that was kind of like really all I have in the chat part tonight, because really this would be a much cooler conversation, like I said many times, if we could sit here and talk about our different experiences and find out similarities between all of our experiences with dreams. And there's, like I said, there's quite a bit of science on looking at brainwaves during the sleeping times and the body and that kind of thing. But it's kind of like the afterlife. Like it's so personal and no one really knows. So I will leave y'all to sit on some of those things, and I hope you have some cool dreams tonight. Try not to use fluoride if you want to dream some more, unless you really need to. It keeps the cavities at bay, evidently. Learned that on a podcast I watched called Science Versus, which is a really good podcast. But yeah, dreams, man. They are definitely a huge, huge, huge glitch in the matrix that no one can explain, just like those other things. And I know I've had my fair share of like WTF moments in the dreams. So next week, I'm going to wrap up this glitch in the matrix stuff, and we're going to talk about, like I said, the pineal gland and hallucinogens and just kind of all the leftover deep states of meditation and that kind of thing. But for now, sweet dreams to you guys. Have fun with it. Look at your hands. And I'm going to play you guys a couple covers. And that's it. We're not going to do a meditation tonight because I just going to leave y'all with these covers. So love you so much. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Julie, for being here, and other friends that I see are watching. So I appreciate you guys being a part of this, and keep rocking in the free world, y'all. Take a deep breath because we are on a ride right now.